What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Dan Stephen here for another review. So we're going to be continuing our Mandalorian Season 2 review with episode 7.
Second last episode of the season.
Second last? Fuck me, man. I'm already sad that's going to end. I just want to have like a live stream camera in Mando's like helmet so I can watch him when he does.
Well, did he make me wear his helmet?
Oh, spoilers!
This is pure spoiler, by the way.
Spoilers galore in this one. I don't think that's definitely where it's going. So what was this episode called? Do you know?
Called The Believer.
The Believer, yes. So I think it kind of touches on maybe Bill Burr's character.
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, it probably does, because in this episode you got a lot of Bill Burr. What do you think of Bill Burr in Star Wars?
It's funny because he doesn't like Star Wars for this year. They basically heard him like Star Wars and they asked him to come in and be a character in Mandalorian. So he's like, fuck yeah, of course I will. His first episode in the first season where he was like almost like he was grand, but we didn't get much from him. And I kind of thought I like Bill Burr as a comedian and I think he's a good actor. So I kind of thought they kind of underused him, and I think there's so like the way what he brought to that character is something Star Wars has been lacking. Would you say? It's not emotional like connection with you would say because he was a stormtrooper, the Empire. Like so, we're seeing him as this ex-stormtrooper have this real emotional connection and like hatred towards the Empire now. So we're getting like. All right, we're getting a bit more layered here. We're not trying to say the Stormtroopers are good guys, but we can say the Empire are bad guys. So I think Bill Burr here was fantastic. It was a Bill Burr episode. He was the main guy the whole way through it, and I think he was great. And I'm glad to see Pedro Pascal take his helmet off. And I think he played that role quite well, like a person who was almost awkward in his own skin. Like he didn't feel comfortable without the helmet on. And I thought Pedro Pascal, we know, is a fantastic actor. But them two in that scene together and that in the wee cantina bit or the canteen bit was just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, so for me with Bill Burr, I thought he was really good in the episode. One thing that I need to get past though when I see him is I just see Bill Burr.
Yeah, you do.
Like, it does take me out of it a wee bit because like, see when the opening scene comes down and then he's working away in the junkyard, I'm like, oh, what's Bill Burr doing? Like you just immediately, and I think it's more my thing is that it does take me out of it a bit. Whenever I just can't see him as a fucking actual Star Wars character, I just see him as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Good point.
And that's hard. So, what did you think of this episode overall? Like, did you think it was
a lot of people are going to say it's a filler episode, and I get that there. But for me, I just feel like if we're going to build towards obviously Mando fighting Moff Gideon, which is obviously going to be the last episode, he's going to fight him, obviously with the Darksaber and stuff. You need these episodes to big it up. There's some sort of there's more going on in Star Wars universe as well. So you see this planet now too. You see what's happening, what the Empire actually doing to this town. So I do like that side of it. It's adding layers to Star Wars rather than just be this evil Empire and stuff or bad guys. And obviously we got a bit of the backstory when they fucking what's that? What was that order again? About the yeah. So that was great. And I do think we got a bit of development from Mando itself. And people probably think, did you really? You did, because I think this is going to be, we're going to see Mando leave that creed now. I think Mando's going to obviously probably go with Bo-Katan and like be that sort of Mandalorian with the helmet off. So we're seeing that it's done in such a nice way. And that wee interaction that Bill Burr and Mando have in the truck scene when they're driving the truck together, where Bill Burr makes some good points. He's like, yeah, everyone has their beliefs until they don't, until they kind of need to kind of go against their beliefs. He's like, you said don't take your helmet off, but you took it off and put on a stormtrooper helmet. The fuck? Where's your real belief? Like, what is the law? You can't take your helmet off because people can't see your face. The lines are all blurred.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that was done really well because it showed how much he cares for Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
It just shows that connection to the point where the Mandalorian of the first season would never have done that. Like it was so ingrained in his belief and his religious belief that it's taken him meeting Baby Yoda or Grogu and becoming like a father to him.
Yeah.
To the point that he cares more about his own kid than he does his religion.
Yeah.
What I took from that. It's like, and you probably should care more about your own kid than your own beliefs.
Mhm.
So if the only way to find out where he is to take his helmet off, he's going to take
Yeah.
his helmet off every day. But in the first season, if the option was to find this kid or take your helmet off, he would never have taken it off. So
Yeah. Exactly.
he has grew massively. I thought the episode overall was good. I thought it was a good episode. It probably is the weakest episode of the season.
Probably. Yeah.
But I think this season is set such high standards that
Exactly.
this would be a good episode. This would be a better episode than the first season, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, so it was. I thought you got a lot in it. I love the scene in the like cantina bit. When he was explaining about the history and that Operation Cinder. I don't know if you've done any reading on that and what that actually.
No.
So basically, it was Darth Sidious' contingency plan. So
Mhm.
the Empire's contingency plan. If he died, he basically wanted to take as many people with him. So the Empire executed this like Operation Cinder, where it destroyed a lot of planets, but as Bill Burr alluded to in the thing, it also killed a lot of their own.
Yeah.
So it killed a lot of their own people. And one thing I thought the episode foreshadowed the First Order when he said,
Mhm.
when Hess was saying like, people think they want to be free, but really they just want order. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's actually a cool foreshadowing to what's going to come, which is called the First Order. But
Mm.
I also thought whenever they were rolling back into the base and you see all the stormtroopers cheering and patting them on,
Yeah.
it's like these are just guys.
There's
These are
humans.
just
Yeah.
guys who have grew up in a belief that they want the Empire to rule.
Yeah.
As Bill Burr was saying, like the New Republic or the Empire, like what's the difference? Like you're all
What's the difference? Yeah. What's the difference? These we.
it's just someone else in charge.
Yeah. Like, what's the
So
difference to these planets? What's the
yeah,
difference about these planets where like the Empire owns or the New Republic owns? There's no real difference to them.
you're
I
right,
like
and
that.
that
I like that dynamic between like you had Mando, who's obviously this strict Mandalorian, and you have these stormtroopers who a lot of people slag off, and Bill Burr is one of them people. But Bill Burr obviously is constantly pointed out to be, oh, you're a scumbag because you work for the Empire, and then he's just like he's almost like the middle between. So he's like, what's the difference between these guys and you? Like, there's no difference. You were born in that belief, and they were born in a different belief. That's no difference. Doesn't mean they're right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. You can judge them on that. There, I thought that was quite layered for Star Wars episode.
and I think we praise Star Wars for being on the nose, and this is the good guy and this is the bad guy.
Yeah,
And then at the same time, when they develop on that and they layer it, and then they make you also kind of go, oh, Star Wars isn't that simple actually. It actually
yeah,
is. And I think for me, if you're going to do a TV show and you're going to build more TV shows and build this universe more, it has to be grey now. You
yeah.
can't make 17 TV shows if this is the bad guy and this is the good guy.
No, it's
You
boring.
have to, yeah, it becomes boring, and they have to build that up, and it does make you think as a fan who obviously are massive fans of Star Wars, and you always assume right the Empire's bad and the rebels are good.
Yeah.
But if you were living in that universe and you grew up, you probably would support the Empire. You wouldn't know. It's all propaganda and
If you
fucking
benefit from it, it seems like
yeah.
anything, like no, like any like sort of political party really. And obviously these are extreme versions, obviously because these are very fucking the Empire taking over and murdering people, and the Republic trying to think of the Jedi and shit. Obviously, it's more complex than that there, but it is just like politics in it. There's one side and the other, and I think that's Star Wars is almost alluding to now, rather than just be in the New Hope, the bad guy, good guy. You know what I mean? That's it. And they're so obvious, but why they're trying to make it a bit more like grey, as you said, like, and that's why I think for me, and I think for us in general, we're Star Wars fans, but we're also movie and TV fans. Like we know what a good movie is, regardless if it's a Star Wars movie or not. A New Hope is a great movie because it's a good movie. Not because it's a Star Wars movie, it's because it's a good fucking movie. And I think Star Wars fans don't like that. Sometimes some of our Star Wars fans are so hell bent on being so obvious with the politics, so I say on the nose with who's the bad guy. But I like when it's a wee bit of grey area. Like Bill Burr was an asshole, like, but like it doesn't mean all stormtroopers are assholes. That way. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like I thought that's the main the main takeaway from this episode, because ultimately this episode wasn't really much. It was we land, we grab Bill Burr, we have to go to another planet, we break in, we get coordinates. That's what this
Yeah,
episode was. So
yeah,
it was really simple. It really didn't expand much more other than it got you thinking.
yeah.
That's so I do think overall in this episode, I'm starting to think back to the second episode with the ice thing, and I really enjoyed that at the time. But as a whole, I would probably put this episode up there with that. Like it
Oh yeah,
was
true.
on
I
par.
Yeah, and it's so hard because this is the new episode that just came out, so you're really excited for it now too. So I do think this episode was better than that one there. But again, I'll wait until the end of the TV show then look at it as a whole. That's why I try to do it. But what I like about what John Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing so well in this TV show, they're not just like shoehorning things in. They're not just like, oh, cool. Oh, so Mando's the kind of good guy. Mando doesn't believe in his creed anymore. They're doing it so subtly over time. So when he does eventually, which I think he will, leave the creed, it's natural rather than going, oh, that was a shock. Oh, you're leaving the creed. What the fuck? It's like, no, we've been seeing it coming for the last season that way.
Yeah.
And his development with Grogu and Baby Yoda and shit, like that's such a good development. Like his friends now, he has all these friends. Like he was always almost like a loner beforehand, but he's developed these relationships with these people, like the Marshal and all too. Now it's like he's just turned into a good guy now, and I think that's where it's going to go eventually. I can't see him ever letting go of Baby Yoda. I think it's going to be like he's going to be like a father figure to him, regardless if he's a Jedi or not. But so before we go here, what do you think is going to come in the last episode? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know, because I know you're thinking it might be our Mandalorian fighting Moff Gideon, but it might be. I don't think it will be. I think that's something that's going to be in the next season.
I just think because he had obviously the spear. That was a Devilarian. Was it Devilarian still? What are you calling it? But yeah.
And it's obvious. I think that is going to happen. I'm just not sure, and it might happen. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all if that happens in the next episode.
Yeah.
But then I also think there's so much more for them to build up with this bad guy.
Yeah.
That fight him at the end of the next episode, and he wins, and say kills him. Then you're kind of like, well, they've cast such an amazing bad guy there, and he wasn't really in it that much. So maybe they should. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I do think he will get Yoda back.
Yeah, I think so.
The next episode, and I think we're probably looking at something that's quite action driven.
Yeah.
But honestly, I have no idea.
When I say he's going to fight Moss, I meant he's going to fight him, but I still think he's going to get away because I think he is the bad guy for this series. I think they'll probably touch on Snoke when it ends or something out there. They'll touch on the First Order.
Thrawn. That's the one that's going to be behind it.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Thrawn, sorry. But yeah, so, oh yeah, true, I totally forgot. So, I can't see this TV show just being in one more season. This is going to be, I can get a little, at least get 4 out of it. So maybe they will kill off Moss in the next episode, but he's such a good character, such a good actor playing him. I don't want to get rid of him. I want him to be because he is so fucking scary when he holds the scene, he holds your attention when he's on it. I don't want him to get killed off, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought they were going to fight. Baby Yoda's going to be saved, and he's going to fly off, and it's going to end the season. I did think Luke Skywalker was going to come into this here, but maybe not.
I don't think so.
No, I think so. I just think if he was going to come into it, they would have touched on it this episode and happened next episode, but they didn't touch on it. But yeah, no, I haven't seen him. I think they'll fight. He'll get Baby Yoda, but I'll expand on Thrawn. Maybe they'll see him at the end of it or something, and that'll lead on to the next season.
Yeah.
So we do this every episode. We'll probably forget what we rated them. What do you rate this episode?
I'm going to give this 7.5.
Yeah, I'll say a 7. Still loved it. I don't want people thinking like I love this episode, but again, I'm trying to judge it as a whole in this TV show. I think this episode is really important. I think we're going to know the importance of this episode once the season's done. We're going to look back and go, that was a great episode. But for now, I do think I got more out of like the Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and Boba Fett episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, Boba Fett's new armor or repainted armor.
Well, when did he get time to do that?
Oh, get hell, man. He can do what he wants. He's Boba fucking Fett. And do you see that part? Do we?
This line, yeah, where he said, "I think they may recognize my face." And that was bad.
I was like, oh, yeah, because you're a clone. You're a clone.
Fucking clone army.
Yeah, you're a clone. You're a clone. That was brilliant out there. But yeah, so that was our review. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Just to let you know, we've got similar content available on the channel if you want to check it out.
We also do our own podcast called MCPodcasting, where we cover a range of topics from politics, sports and even movies.
We basically just talk a lot of shit.
We argue a lot as well on it there, but all the links are below. We're on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and is there any other?
That's the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main ones.
Just check out the podcast, and if there's any sort of videos you want us to react to, drop us a comment on the YouTube videos, and we'll be sure to check it out.
Or if you want to make fun of us, then go ahead. We don't care.
Be nice.
Be nice.
In fairness, we don't really get that many comments.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
Okay.